Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to day 4 of Whole Grain Week. If you are just joining us, all this week we are celebrating whole grains. I am sharing a delicious whole grain based recipe with you every single day this week, and really it's meant to help inspire you to incorporate more of these healthy and wholesome whole grains into your diet. This week is brought to you in partnership with my lovely friends at Bob's Red Mill. You guys know how much I love their products, love their entire product line, and they carry a huge variety of whole grains. So we are using a different whole grain of theirs in every single recipe this week, and today we are talking about steel cut oats. A lot of us eat oatmeal for breakfast in the morning, and steel cut oats is a great option to substitute with regular oats. So I'm going to show you how to make the creamiest, most delicious steel cut oats in the entire world. We're topping these steel cut oats with caramelized bananas and crunchy nuts, and they taste awesome. The other thing I really love about steel cut oats is that they keep well overnight and even into a few days. So unlike regular oatmeal that might get a little bit gummy after it's cooked, you can totally reheat steel cut oats. They still have an amazing texture and they aren't gonna kind of like seize up and get gummy on you. So this is another one of those recipes that's great for meal prep, and I know you guys love meal prep recipes, so I think you're really gonna like this one. Like all of the other recipes in this series, please stay tuned after the recipe because we are going to talk a little bit more about steel cut oats, some of the nutritional properties of it, what they are exactly, because I think sometimes they get a little bit confused with all of the different oats there are out there. But stay tuned after the recipe. We'll talk more about steel cut oats, but for now, let's just go ahead and dive into our recipe. The ingredients we will need for this recipe are 3/4 cups of Bob's Red Mill steel cut oats, 3 cups of almond milk or whatever plant-based milk you'd like, 1 tablespoon of vegan butter or coconut oil, 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. For the bananas, we're going to use 2 large bananas, 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar, and we're topping everything off with a 1/4 cup of chopped nuts. So we'll start by making the oatmeal first. You're gonna add the milk as well as the steel cut oats into a small saucepan. Stir that together, then bring it to a boil and let it simmer for 15 minutes. Once it's simmered for 15 minutes, you can add the remaining ingredients and then just stir everything together. And you're gonna wanna make sure that you really stir everything together pretty well so that the butter or coconut oil fully melts. And then you'll just simmer this again for another 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes, you can remove it from the heat and we will make the bananas. So for the bananas, we're going to add the coconut oil into a large saute pan and then just stir that together until it melts a little bit. Then you can add in the coconut sugar and you'll stir this all together until everything is completely melted. Once it's melted, you just want to wait until it's a little bit shimmery and the oil starts to bubble a little bit, and then you can add in your bananas. I wanted to make sure that I got the flat sides caramelized, so that's why I'm turning them over, but you don't have to do that if you don't want. And then you'll just cook them for about 3 minutes until they are golden brown on one side. And then we're just gonna flip them over and cook them for another minute or so. I have found that the easiest way to flip them is with tongs or a fork. I will link the exact tongs that I use as well as the pans because you guys have asked about those before in the description box below, so you can check that out if you're interested. And like I mentioned, we're just going to let these cook for another minute or so. Once they are done and nice and caramelized, you can remove them from the heat and we will start to plate the oatmeal. So to serve, we're just going to evenly divide the steel cut oats between 2 small bowls. And then we'll top each bowl with half of the bananas and then we'll sprinkle them both with a little bit of nuts. I used pecans, but you can use whichever kind of nuts or seeds that you like. And then you can just dig in. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, this is reheatable. So if you want to reheat it, you can just add in a little bit of almond milk. And I recommend that you make the bananas the day of, but this makes a lovely weekend brunch. It's sweet, it's decadent, but it's also pretty easy to make, so you can make it on the weekdays too if you have a little bit of extra time. And there you have it, my friends. That is how to make the creamiest steel cut oats in the entire world. These are so good, and I hope you give them a try. If you aren't a banana fan, feel free to swap in any type of fruit that you want. Nut-free, you could leave the nuts off, put on the seeds, anything you want. Basically, I just wanted to show you how to make creamy steel cut oats because they're so good. So like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, let's quickly talk about what steel cut oats are and why they are so healthy and delicious. Steel cut oats are basically a thicker grind of oats. So unlike regular oatmeal, which has been flattened in a grain flaker, steel cut oats are the whole oat groat, which has just been kind of chopped up. So they're a lot more coarse, and that's also why they take longer to cook. They have the same nutritional properties as regular oatmeal. They're a complex carbohydrate, they're high in fiber, they have a little bit of protein in them, which makes them a really great option for breakfast. And again, like I mentioned, they keep really well in the fridge, so they're a great option for meal prep, unlike regular cooked oatmeal. So I highly recommend that you guys try steel cut oats if you haven't tried them already. This recipe is linked in the description box below if you want to check it out. And again, if you are just joining us for this week, I am also giving away a free ebook at the end of the week. So make sure to use the link in the description box below to sign up for my email list, and that will make sure that you get the free ebook, which is going out on Saturday. And I've also linked the entire playlist for Whole Grain Week in the description box below. So if you want to see the other whole grain recipes that we're making, you can click that link as well. If you guys end up trying this recipe, I would love to see a photo on Instagram. You can tag @simplyquinoa using the hashtag wholegrainweek. That means that we can just all find each other's whole grain recipes and share with each other. So thank you guys so much for watching. We're on day 4 of Whole Grain Week, which means we have another whole grain recipe to share tomorrow. So make sure you tune in and see that one. It's a savory one and it's a good one. So I will see you guys in the morning. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.